It's day 40. It's Friday, June 12th, 2020. And this is day 40 of Flippin Live, where we go live. Excuse me. We go live from my channel here at 510 Books. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. And we talk about reselling. And sometimes we talk about different topics. Sometimes we just chat. And today, I'm going to talk about researching rare books for resale online. So let's get started.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, we're flippin' live.
Good morning, guys. Hi, Brian. Brian says he has a copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Huh. Well, let's see. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. First edition. Hardcover. So okay, so I'm looking it up here on eBay. Is it one of these? I mean, you just said you don't have the dust jacket, but I don't know why this one. Anyway, you can see the prices really vary. I'll just say this is new though. 1980. Does it look like this one here? Hey Pat, good morning. Welcome. Oh, this one says First American Edition, published 1980. Let's see. This one's probably says First American Edition too, I would imagine. Because you can sell it if it doesn't have the dust jacket. You can probably... I don't know why it's not showing. Doesn't want to zoom. There's this one. It says 1979. Okay, I don't know why it's not zooming. But anyway, let's see if how many have sold. Here's one with dust jacket. Let's see if there's one without the dust jacket. So these are varying here. This one says first stated dust jacket. These all seem to have the dust jacket, but I bet you can still sell it without the dust jacket, even if you sell it for half of what the other prices are. Anyway, yeah, I would take a look and compare. Compare with what you see on eBay there. It's yellow. Okay, yeah. Take a look at the what year it was printed and compare it to some of those other ones on there that have sold or that are listed there as first editions, and see if what you have. Excuse me. Wow. See if what you have looks similar to those, even if you don't have the dust jacket, because you, especially if the book is valuable, some people will still buy it without the dust jacket if it's a hardcover. So I wouldn't, I would give it a shot. You never know until you try, basically. Okay, good morning, everybody. We have a few people on here. Feel free to participate in the chat if you have questions or you have knowledge about researching rare books. Now, when I say rare, I don't necessarily mean old antiquarian vintage books. Now, when people think of rare books, they usually think of that, I would assume, I do, think of older books. Now, definitely older books can be super rare and can fall into this category, but it could be any book that, it could be a book that was published 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, not necessarily 50, 80, 100, 200 years ago, which is going to be more rare usually. But it's just if it's, it could be printed 10 years ago and there's just not that many copies out there in the wild, and you happen to come across one, and then you've got to do some research on it. The older it is, the probably more difficult it's going to be to research it. But anyway, good morning, Terry. Abe Books has a video on how to identify a first edition book. Yeah, Abe Books is probably good for that as well. I've never sold on Abe Books, but they are a good place to find find a more rare book to see if there's any copies on there for sale, to get an idea of what it's going for. However, Abe Books is a different universe than Amazon, than eBay. So just remember that as well, that even if you find the book on Abe Books, and let's say the price is really low or much lower than what you're seeing elsewhere, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't sell that book for more money. Because I don't really understand Abe Books in terms of how it fits into the whole equation, or how it compares to Amazon and eBay specifically, because eBay is usually going to be a better place for more collectible books, rare books. But okay, but it is a good place. It is a good resource to use, just to see if there is a copy of that particular book on the site, and whether or not it or what kind of value it has, or what people are placing the value on it currently. Because I had a book that I found at a library sale. I shared it with you guys earlier when I was doing the show, probably early in the show. And it was a very old book. It was like about 100 years old, and it just had a really cool looking spine. It had what do you call it? Whoops. It had what's like embossing along this. It had a raised sort of spine with some cool like decorations and whatnot. I'm gonna look it up and see if I can find it here. And it was, sitting in amongst all the other older books. Let's see. And nobody, nobody had picked it up. But to me, wait, why is this? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, why is this paid and shipped? All right. And there were a bunch of other resellers there, and they had passed on the book. And then I ended up listing it on eBay, and I took an offer of 80. There it is, called The Outline of Mythology. Here, I'll share my screen because you've just been staring at me. So this is it. It's called The Outline of Mythology by Thomas Bulfinch. So it's from 1913. See, it's got a really cool cover. And on the spine there, it looks really neat. See how it looks. and it was from 1913. So anyway, the way it was decorated, just the way it looks was like the coolest book I've ever seen in terms of the decoration of the cover. And I actually found another copy. I only found one other copy. I think it was on Abe Books, and it was like, excuse me, it was going for like $20, or it was going for very little money. And but I didn't find, there wasn't any other copy that had sold that looked the same. This Thomas Bulfinch Outline of Mythology book had sold many times on eBay, but not this particular copy. And I figured because it was so unique that maybe somebody would want to buy it for a premium. So I listed it for $100, and then someone offered me $82 and plus shipping, and I took it. And people at the library sale passed it up. But when I saw it, I said, well, this is too beautiful and too old to not be worth money. So I was surprised that people would pass it by. But again, a lot of those people are just scanning and not paying attention to these types of books. But this was an example of one that it was on Abe Books, priced for much less, but yet eBay is a different environment, a different marketplace, and there weren't any other copies, and threw it up there, and somebody bought it for good money, considering I only spent $1 on it. And it's just a cool looking book, even if this is not a book like the title or this is not the book that somebody wanted, or I should say they don't want to read the book, they just want to use it as a decoration piece, then that's why this would be probably good for somebody to pick up. Yeah, no, I know it's a beautiful book. So, but no longer mine. Sold it. So the reason why this popped into my head about researching rare books is because I found one that is pretty rare, and I don't know. I have an idea of how much I can get for it based on eBay sold, based on it selling 3 times in the last year on eBay, but the prices are a little bit wild, and the one that I have is signed. So I'll show it to you in a second. But again, talking about rare books, because there's an entire industry based around very rare books. And usually these books are much older. Sometimes they're not just a few decades old. They're couple hundred years old. Very hard to find. They focus on a particular niche or a particular type of buyer who likes to collect these super rare items. They're called auction houses. To show you an example of one that I found. It's called Swan Auction Galleries, and these are past auctions they have had. I think, let's see, upcoming auctions. So June, they're going to graphic design modernist posters. June 25th, contemporary art. And then they're going to have July 9th, maps and atlases, natural history, and color plate books. Illustration art, fine books and manuscripts. That's one probably would be interesting. They have vintage posters. So here's some ones. So this is photographs. This is art. That's old masters through. Let's see. So printed. Let's look at this one. And manuscript Americana. So that one didn't sell, but this one, look, American Indians. I don't know. Is that a book? I guess it is. Sold for $2,400. Don't have too many pictures. So these are much more rare items. Although this one didn't sell. That one sold. Let's see. Unsold. A lot of these are unsold. But they get so much money for them. This one here, American Revolution, 1776, a letter. That's a letter, so not even a book. I call these Americana, basically. That's a letter unsold. That's unsold. Wow, a lot of unsolds. This one, manuscript for the detection of counterfeit continental banknotes. This one sold. These aren't really selling. This one here, look at this. An exploring expedition on the canal. Whoops. It's a lithograph. Sold for 5,200. Says show hammer price, so 4,200. These are different type, but just as an example of, this is an auction house where they sell. Look at, oh wow, look at this, guys. How many are watching this video? So very early edition. Whoops. Of the Bay Psalm book, Bible in English Psalms, 100 pages, 18th century owner's inscription. Wow. So they have two. That's just crazy. $50,000 for this. Circa 1648 to 1665. Wow. So, there's a whole nother level basically of rare books. And there's, like I told you in a previous stream that I had briefly worked for like a decade ago, an auction house where they had auctions like this. They had their own website and they used some other third-party auction website to run the auctions, but they would do online bids and then they would take bids over the phone. So they had a list of customers that would participate in their auctions. I think they were usually like monthly auctions or every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks, something like that. I can't remember, but they would, they would send out the catalog, either probably virtually to people, and then people would show up for the auction, on a certain day or time. And they had a lot of rare stuff, not just books, but they had paintings and statues and all kinds of random stuff. And they had themes like these people do with their auctions. There's another one, fine books and manuscripts. So that's another level of rare books. Clearly, like there is a whole specialized marketplace. And there's a lot of different auction houses that specialize in printed materials, whether they're posters, whether they're letters, whether they're Americana, whether they're actual books, and they will put them into categories and do one auction with 100 or whatever of those types of items. And as you can see, some sell, some don't, but enough do for them to have that business. But they're essentially resellers. A lot of these items they are selling for someone else, so they're basically consignment. Some of them they obtain themselves and then just flip. So it's really no different than what we're doing. It's just that they're not selling items for $20. There seems to be the lowest that the items for sale they have are a couple $100 at least, but many of them are in the thousands of dollars. And as we saw, tens of thousands of dollars. So I'm talking about more books that, if you find a book that's going to go for $5,000, then that's incredible. There's definitely books on eBay that sell for tens of thousands of dollars that are super rare. But I would say, if you find a book that seems rare, first of all, it's important to know, to be able to spot a book like that. But as you're looking it up, if you're out wherever you are, if you made a bulk purchase, right, then you're at your house, in your garage, in your storage unit, whatever you are. But if you're out there, at a estate sale or something, and you're looking something up and you have your phone, if it seems rare, if it seems like it's going for good money, then maybe you can bring it home, purchase it, and then do some more deep research. I prefer to research on my computer than on my phone, but I can at least figure out if something is if something seems to be, pretty rare, basically. Can the public list on the site? Can the public list on the site? Well, you talking about on that auction house site I just showed you? My assumption is no. It's all run by the auction house. That if you were wanting to take part in that, you'd have to consign it to them, and they'd have to basically they probably have to accept it. They'd have to say whether that item was worth their time to try to sell, because clearly they're going to get a cut of it. Who would risk sending a $50,000 book through the mail to a customer? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to remember if the auction house I worked for shipped everything off. I guess they did, huh? Yeah, my assumption is that if the person can't pick it up, I mean, that's the other thing. Like sometimes if someone lives nearby or they're willing to, I do remember that actually, that somebody actually drove in to pick up an item that they had purchased, a very expensive item that they wanted to personally pick up. Just so happened that they lived in Southern California. But if someone lives on the East Coast or somewhere else, then yeah, I guess you're going to have to try to send it in the safest way possible through the mail. FedEx it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so I don't think you can just list publicly on the site. You have to probably contact them and say you have this super rare item, and would they be willing to sell it? And then they can they'll take possession of it. I'm sure you sign something saying that they'll get a cut and they'll take care of it. I don't know exactly how that works. I wasn't part of that process, but I would definitely not list that item on Amazon, Terry, for sure. These are the kind of items that you can sell on eBay. I mean, you can look up on eBay for Bibles as an example, and there's probably some, in vintage, that type of thing. Vintage Bible. Whoops. Vintage Bible. And then we go to highest. Well, there's nothing going to... Oh, I didn't say leather. I mean, on eBay right here, I just put in vintage Bible under antiquarian collectible under the solds, and then I'm showing from highest to lowest. So this one, which I think we saw the other day, but $15.99 restored Bible for $16.99 for one bid back in April 1st. There's this one, restored family holy Bible. See, they threw in rare, vintage, antique. Excuse me. But again, I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I don't know if these Bibles, if they had been sold through some auction house versus on eBay, would they go for more money? Because the clientele is different, right? They're more collectors and people that are willing to pay up for this kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if these types of things would actually go for more money on an auction house versus in an eBay. It's definitely worth looking up. Find one that's... Hold on one second. So, first of all, I look up on Amazon. Usually if a book's really old, though, like that Bullfinch one, I'm not going to look that up on Amazon. But if a book seems to be unique, special, rare, I'll look it up there just to check it out. You never know. Usually those books will not sell on Amazon, though. A lot of times they're either not listed there, or there's a listing and it has no sales rank, or it has a very high sales rank, or the person who... there's one copy on there and it's outrageously priced, or it's underpriced, usually is what I see. And those tend to do better on eBay. where I'll find the same item and it seems like it's more of a realistic price if it's more rare or collectible. So then I'll just check on eBay. And why I like to use my computer is I'll use Terapeak to see if you have a store on eBay. You can use Terapeak, which will show you the last 12 months of solds versus just the last 3 months, which can help so you can get a better idea of if that item is selling and what type of or what kind of money it's selling for. So you make sure and don't underprice it and someone steals it from you for super cheap. Does eBay protect or reimburse sellers for high dollar books after they're sold? Oh, you mean I don't think so. You mean if something goes wrong, if it arrives damaged or something like that? I'm not aware of that. Yeah, I'm not aware of that. Um, yeah, I mean, Brenda says she has a lot of old books. I've got a lot of old books. I would gladly send them through the mail. Yeah, I mean, I would try eBay first. But I mean, if you have books that are look on eBay, but if they are potentially very, very valuable, then you might want to look into an auction house because they essentially sell it for you. I don't know what the split is. If it's a valuable, super valuable book, I don't know what the percentage that they will require for their fee. But the good thing about that kind of setup is, first of all, you don't have to deal with selling it; they'll do it all. And second of all, they have a clientele that likes that type of older stuff, and potentially can get more money for it because of that. They're willing to pay more than someone on eBay might pay, for instance, where they might pay less for it or expect it to be going for less money. So it just depends on what you have, but I would recommend looking into it. It could be worth it if you do have some truly older, valuable stuff. Oh, yeah. Does eBay protect you from scammers or dishonest buyers? Um, I mean, I haven't had an issue, but I haven't sold a super valuable. I mean, I've sold some valuable stuff, but nothing like a $5,000 or $10,000 book. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if eBay has any sort of protections for that other than just basic stuff. Um, I mean, what I would probably do is I would photograph it, take a video of it before I put it in the box to mail it. Send those photos. I don't know if you can send the video, but send those photos to the buyer and say, okay, this is the condition of the book when I placed it in there. Just because, even if you're sending it first class or whatever, or, just to make sure that they know that you're sending it in the right condition and that it's proof. Shoot a video of it too. And just in case, just to try to protect yourself for really high value stuff. I mean, if you sell something for over $1,000, something like that, um, and the more I get into books, or the more I learn about rare books, the more I want to get into them because there's so much money in them. And that, you'd want to protect it, I would assume. But I don't know if eBay has any special protections for that type of thing. So yeah, I would check Amazon first, and then eBay. And also, if you can't find it on eBay or Amazon, check Abe Books. Like I said, it's a good reference point as well. What you can also do, which I did with this book. Let me show you the book that I have. This is one that a book that was donated to me from someone who saw my Facebook ad. It's this one here, the Encyclopedia of Ishin Ryu Karate, Book One, Beginner to Green Belt. Now, when I saw it, I thought, oh, that looks interesting. That looks like it could be. It's very niche. It's not just martial arts. It's a specific type of martial arts. It's an older book. It's a larger book as well. It's in great condition. It's got some wear, but it's from 1982. But when I looked it up, I found there's only one copy on eBay currently. It's going for $195 plus tax. And then I looked at the solds. Did I keep the solds or did I get rid of that? I think I did. Yeah. But I saw the solds, and it ranges from, it was like $100. It was over $100, like $120, $130, and then there was three that sold in the last year, and one of them sold for $250 plus tax. However, when I looked inside this one, I realized that on the preface page, it's actually signed there. This guy, who's this guy here, and then the other guy down on his knees. Whoops. This guy has signed it here, Joe. So, and it's dedicated to Doug. Best regards, Joe Jennings. And then this one is Anji Uizu, who is the Okinawan master. Yeah. So none of those three copies that sold on eBay in the last year were signed. So I'm unsure about whether these signatures hold a lot of value for people that would want this book. My assumption is they do, because the book is super rare, and I have not seen a copy that has signatures on it. So I'm going to assume it's worth more money. That's why I listed it. I listed it for a lot. I listed it for, I think, $350 to take an offer, which is pretty high. And I just wanted to list it high and see if there was any interest. The other one is going for $195, like I said. And the other copy that's on there is actually listed on Amazon, on eBay, and on A-Books by the same seller. So they listed it on all three to see if it'll sell. And only one has sold in the last 3 months, and 3 in the last year. So I might be overpricing mine, but I did, allow someone to make an offer. So I will leave it at that price for a little while, maybe a few months or so if it doesn't sell, and then possibly, lower it maybe to $300 and see what kind of, if there's any interest in it. So the other thing I did, though, searching it, is I used Google. You can use Google, the general search, right? Because sometimes it'll pop up on another site. And the other thing I like to do is use Google image search. And sometimes you will find an image of it from another site that for some reason doesn't pop up on the normal Google search, but it will pop up on the image search. And I was able to find another one, or I can't remember what I found. I think I found an older copy or something, a different copy, a slightly different copy that had a different cover that was on eBay. So sometimes that can help as well. Yeah, the copy on Amazon is the same seller as eBay and as Abe Books. It's the same person. The person that's selling it on eBay has over 5,000 listings. So they are they are a big seller, and they seem to specialize in books. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think, when it comes to rare books, I'm just learning. I mean, this type of research is limited, to Amazon, to eBay, to A-Books, to Google search. And I'm sure there's other ways, which I've been trying to figure out ways of doing this, of how to research books online. And I've been finding some posts about it. I found one called A Basic Guide to Rare Book Research. And this is in Australia, but this is a library blog. So look at the book. But then anyway, they talk about, where is it? Consult catalog records. So they're talking about libraries. So I'm not going to do that unless I have something that's uber valuable. But locate digitized versions. Secondary references. Apparently there's an International League of Antiquarian Booksellers. So there is a whole genre of antiquarian booksellers. Um, wow. So Terry says my all-time biggest sale was a set of 4 martial art paperbacks for $3.99, ranked 15 million, sold in about 6 weeks. Yeah, you never know. So I assume you did that FBA, huh? That's an awesome sale. As I was searching for information about, let's see, about rare books, I found there's something literally called, here I'll show you, Rare Book School. So it's an actual school, which, I mean, it looks like you can do it in person. Actually, I don't know where this is. Where is this? Charlottesville. Okay. Rare Book School, University of Virginia. So it's an actual rare book school. Which is so strange. So course schedule, course descriptions, advanced reading list, certificate program. So look at these. They've got American publishers, book bindings, 1800 to 1900, forgeries, facsimiles, and sophisticated copies, book history, bibliography, and humanities teaching. Okay. Book illustration processes to 1900, rare book cataloging. Here they have law books, history, and connoisseurship. Okay, so some of this stuff has to do with, well, introduction to archives for special collections, libraries, booksellers, and collectors. Here's the history of the book in America, 1700 to 1830. Look at this one. Printed books to 1800, description and analysis. So, and they even have like a certificate program. I mean, look at the photos. I have no idea what this cost, but that could be interesting to look at, just to get some information. Maybe they have some videos on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't looked. I just found them. Brian says Dictionary of American Naval Fighting Ships. A rare set I have, but it's missing a book or two. Yeah, I don't know. Check it out on eBay if you can sell it for what you currently have, or the copies you currently have. So I had no idea there was a rare book school. But let's see. Here are some auction house lists. Rarebookhub.com. And so here, that's where I found that auction house. Here's some auction houses. Well, Christie's. And they list them here alphabetically. And some of these are in other countries. Some of them are in the U.S. So let's see. Anchorage, Alaska. I don't know where that is. I don't know what state Lakeville is in, but Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Wow, there's a lot. This could take a while to go through. Baltimore book auction. It's a weird. Okay, that's not working. Let's see. New York, Bloomsbury auctions. Oh, great. Well, there we go. Auction. Oh, but these seem to be anyway. So, you can go and find these different auction houses here. This is all for, Books by the Falls. Auction service. Ugh. Wow. So that's no longer in existence. So they clearly need to update their database because a lot of these uh, are not current. But anyway, what was this? Yeah. So I feel that I'm gonna get more and more into these types of books, especially with this buy I'm making in the auction in the storage unit, and potentially taking over this bookstore. Is that learning more about older books, more rare books, is going to help all of us because uh, if you can spot these books and get them for cheap and then flip them on eBay or Amazon, if it'll work on Amazon, um, then you're going to be able to help your bottom line a lot, and potentially the more you can focus on this or just more knowledgeable you can become, the more of these types of books you can probably spot and come across, and profit from it potentially. So Iris here. Good morning. Usually rare books are in acceptable condition. Yeah, it varies, right? And it depends on how rare we're talking about and how old we're talking about. But I mean, for eBay, for purposes of selling it on eBay, because you can take photos of it and fully disclose everything easily with the photos and with the description. Even if it is in acceptable condition, you can probably still do well with it if it's actually a rare book that is in demand. I mean, this one I'm showing, this one's not that old, but it is rare. It's from 1982, so it's, 38 years old. But it's not, it's hard to find, but it's not that old. It's not something from, 1908 or 1875 or something that's probably going to be, after all of that time, especially if it was used a lot, it's going to be in rough condition. But yeah, I mean, if you find older rare books, then you're going to have to be careful with them. Like that one that I found, that Bullfinch one, Outline of Mythology, you had to be careful with the pages. I mean, the pages were intact. The spine was great. It was in great condition for how old it was, for being a 107-year-old book. Still pretty, I mean, I would say that was a solid, good condition. But those pages are old. You got to be careful. You don't want to be flying through the pages and whatnot, because you're more likely to tear it or damage it in some way. But I think that that getting into the rare books is probably a good idea, even if you're just focusing on Amazon. Although I always recommend expanding a little bit into eBay for these types of books, but you can probably sell them on Amazon. This one I forgot if it's, let's see. Ugh. Okay. Encyclopedia of Issue Review. Wait, why does it say? Oh, I see. Here it is. Okay. So now I'm gonna look on Amazon. It's actually a different. So let me share. Here's the Amazon, and this is the same seller, but this is it's a different cover. Although they have the one that I have. See, they have that one. Very good condition, they say, huh? Doesn't look like it's very good condition to me, but hey, to each their own. And let's go to Keepa. So over the last year, this book has not sold. What was the rank? Hold on. So the rank is 6.3 million. It has 3 customer ratings. Look at that. From 2005, 2008, 2005. Get this one if you can, it says. He says, this person says in 2005 they bought it on eBay. So let's see the price. Well, here's the price. So it wasn't available for most of the year. It just became available here in what is that, in April? Yeah, April. Let's see all. So 1,322 days. There we go. So when there were more copies, look. So it sold. Look at this. Back in what year are we? 2017. It was selling for nothing. 39. Well, not nothing, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 sales. I don't know what the price was here. Oh, for $20. Someone sold it for $20. And then here, someone sold it for $35. So only on eBay has it gone for the kind of money that it's listed right now for the $195. Yeah, hang on a second. Let me oops. Let me show you on eBay. I will go to Terapeak and plug it in just to show you. Oh. All right, last 365 days. So here's Terapeak. So as you can see up here, you can just plug in the title, all categories. So you can do 365, 90, 37, and then just hit research, and then it shows you that the last time it sold was February 21st, 2020 for 165 plus shipping. This one you can't visit, but you can see the photo, and it's actually a different cover than the one I have, but it's still book 1. And then it sold on October 30th, 2019 for $250. That's what I was telling you about, for $250. And then it sold back in March. Sorry, that's March 2020. My bad. That was the most recent one for $124, so about $130. So it sold twice this year for $130 and $170. So it varies, right? It's from $130 to $250. I want to lean more towards the $250 mark and see if I can get that. None of these, at least in the title, none of these say that they were signed. So I'm hoping that the signatures that are within this one will help boost the price, but we'll see. So you guys, do you guys have comments, questions, concerns? I think I'm going to end the video early because don't have much else to talk about in terms of this. Today, let's see. I listed that book. I found a Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien book set. That's all 3 of the Lord of the Rings, and then there's a couple more that I included in the lot, and those are from 1973. They're the small paperbacks. And so I listed that on eBay, and then I took some photos of some other books, book lots. That's basically mostly all I have left. I have a few other CD lots that I'm going to list, and then I have a few VHS sets that I have left to list, and then I have this other film strip trays, which I'll share with you in another stream that I need to get up there and list. But mostly I just have a bunch of book lots in the warehouse. So basically today what I'm going to be doing is listing what I took photos of yesterday, and then I will be photographing a bunch more. I want to get all of those book lots up. It's not a ton of them, to be honest. It's probably, I don't know, 20, 25 or so. And then I've got a stack of individual books to list on eBay. And once I get through all that, the idea is that I list all of those between now and my next sale, which is going to be next Friday, the 19th. I'll have it Friday and Saturday, 19th and 20th, my first sale since March. The idea is for me to list all of those items on eBay so that I have nothing left, and just focus on that sale and see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well, and maybe I'll get some book donations in between that. I actually got a book donation yesterday because I started the ad again. It was just one bag, Trader Joe bag, grocery bag of hardcover fiction books. I just briefly looked at them. It seems like it's more common titles, but I will scan them just in case for Amazon. And some of those might put out at my local sale. Because I'm going to be buying several thousand books in 2 weeks, the week after my sale, and filling the rest of my warehouse with those, I might just end up having a big book sale for my next one. My next sale, maybe I'll push it to August, because I'll have so many books to go through and to look at and list. Whoops, Ira. Well, that's interesting, Ira. I'll put it up. Ira says, I went to an antique store. They were going out of business. I found over 50,000 rare books. It was so much work after picking up close to 10,000 books. So you bought 10,000 books from them, Ira? Some didn't even have the ISBN number. Oh, yeah. No. Older rare books, you're going to have to do manual searches. The one that I found, that Bullfinch one that I found at the library book sale, I had to look up manually. And I didn't find it anywhere, but it looks so cool that I bought it for $1 at the library sale and figured I'd just list it on eBay for decorative purposes. You know, if people didn't actually really want that particular book. That is a book that is bought pretty frequently. There's a lot of copies on eBay, but yeah, I mean, that I had to type it in, look it up by the name, the date, that type of thing. So yeah, if you're going to get into rare books, that's why it becomes really valuable to learn about them. So Ira, did you buy 10,000 books from them, and then or did you just go through 10,000 books? And did you list those on eBay? Because that seems like that would have been a lot of work, but also worth it. Brenda says, I have not been listing my signed books as signed. Okay. Was there a particular reason for that? A signature is not necessarily valuable, right? It depends. It depends on the book that is signed. It depends on the author. It depends on how many times that person has signed books. If they signed their name to a lot of books, then the signature probably will not increase the value. But if their signature is more rare and they did not do a lot of book signings, then it's probably going to bump up the price of that particular book. So you just have to do the research and figure out whether or not their signature matters to the value of the book. But yeah, I mean, I've sold stuff, where there's a signature and it doesn't matter, so I don't even bother mentioning it. I remember doing that a lot on on Amazon before I got into eBay. But sometimes the signature will matter and it will increase it. So yeah, so I think that it's a good idea for us to learn more about these rare books. Let's see. So yeah, that's what I'll be up to today. I'll be photographing book lots, weighing them out. What I do is I take this little booklet here and I actually list them I put the name of the lot, how many books are in there. This was the same thing with CDs and DVD lots. And I'll put the weight and then the price that I'm going to list it. And, I'll photograph them. And I'll keep those. So when I'm doing individual items, I keep them stored in my garage. But when I'm doing these lots that take up too much space, I'll just leave them in the warehouse and store them there for now. I just don't have a good system yet for that, but eventually I will. Excuse me. And then I just come home, upload the photos, and just start listing at home on my computer, because I'm not a fan of listing on my phone. Even if I have a template, I just hate on my phone sitting there, punching away to list something. So I just don't bother with that. But I prefer the laptop for sure. And I have some CDs and books here to list for FBA, to send in for FBA. I had to call Seller Central, Amazon Seller Central, to deal with my API situation with Acceler List. They claim it's fixed, so I will be checking that today to see if that is true, so that I can list those items and send them off to FBA. That's been a bit of a pain in the butt. Yes, I bought all 10,000 books, most of them copyrighted in the 1700s, 1800s. So Ira, did you sell those on eBay? Wow. That's a lot of books. That's crazy. You must have a storage unit, or your garage is filled. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Tomorrow is Saturday, so tomorrow I want to do a Q&A. So if you plan on participating tomorrow, we're at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific time. We're gonna open it up to questions and chat and talk about different things to do with reselling. So come with your questions. What's going on with reselling right now with you?
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive. We're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're flippin' live.
I'm going to. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem, Brian. If you can't make it, totally fine. But I appreciate you guys watching. It's been Flippin' Live, day 40. Talked about researching rare books, and we'll be going live tomorrow. So we'll do Q&A tomorrow, Saturday Q&A. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day. Hopefully you're able to find some good books, do some great sourcing and listing today, and get some good sales. So keep booking and stay safe. Thanks, guys.